It's crazy looking at this chart around the value of the entire crypto market and just realizing how early we really are. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. So as we really look at the market cap of crypto, we go back to 2021. We hit $3 trillion, and to some people, $3 trillion seems like it's a crazy amount. But then when you zoom out and you look at, the stock market, you look at the gold market, you look at all of these other different asset classes, it's like, guys, this is absolutely nothing compared to where this space is actually headed. Now, the big thing to focus on is, if you hold specific projects like the ones that I did put in the title, you have planted seeds that all you have to do is wait for them to grow. Maybe even water them a little bit by adding a little bit more on these massive swings in the market where everyone is so fearful. But for the most part, they will grow. And I don't think people really realize where this space is actually headed. But hey, you listen to BlackRock, okay? And I've said it before. I don't like listening to Larry Fink go on a, rant about how great Bitcoin is and how great Ethereum is, because again, these are, two products that they actually have. These are ETFs that they are pushing, making sure that the retail sector is buying in so that they can get wealthy, just as, they've done so many times in the past. But when we really think about what BlackRock, specifically Larry Fink, was telling us back in January, right after the ETFs got approved, it's very clear on what is going to happen next. And I'm going to play this just to make sure that you guys hear what he's saying.
Let me be clear. I think ETFs are step one in the technological revolution in the financial markets. Step two is going to be the tokenization of every financial asset.
The tokenization of every financial asset. Every single dollar in the world will be tokenized. It is so important to really think about this logically, because so many people, I see them in the comments, they don't understand how tokenization is going to affect the underlying asset on these networks. If $1 trillion got tokenized on Hedera tomorrow, HBAR would be severely affected in a very positive way. Why? Well, now you have $1 trillion in TVL on that network that's going to be bought, sold, traded. When we think about tokenized currency, tokenized things of value, they're not just going to sit on chain doing nothing. No. They're going to be bought, sold, traded, converted to other things. You're going to have yield generation through them because you have DeFi as well. So you're going to have, the DeFi side of things heat up in a large way. It's going to result in massive network effects, which are going to greatly impact the network in a positive way. The underlying asset will be very valuable. And when we think about $1 trillion on Hedera, you might say, Nick, that's crazy. $1 trillion. Yes, $1 trillion. Because the addressable market is in the quadrillions of dollars. So $1 trillion is a drop of water in the addressable market. Now, over here, BlackRock recently had a very big slide at a conference. This was Digital Assets Conference Brazil 2024, where they outlined how crypto adoption is outpacing the internet and mobile phones. And this is what it looked like. You have crypto in yellow, you have the internet and mobile phones. And yes, crypto is growing significantly. And you could even see it over here. We have crypto adoption is mirroring early internet growth. While volatility has been a concern, new regulatory developments, security improvements, and infrastructure advancements are addressing these barriers. And here we actually have the chart. 2024 versus 1997 for internet adoption. And very interesting here. I mean, it's very interesting when you look at crypto owners and internet users. Now, the number one thing that I want to really focus on here is what comes next. Because Gemini put out a great post around this, and they said the next phase of crypto growth will be exponential. Last week, their head of Ireland, EU, spoke at the EU Blockchain Convention about crypto regulation across the globe. Here are 3 key takeaways. Number 1, crypto adoption has surged to nearly 1 in 4 people. As shown in our recent State of Crypto report, regulation is key, providing companies like Gemini clear guidelines. You know what you can and can't do. This has led to a big influx of companies into Europe. Bitcoin ETF approval signals a shift in the SEC stance, highlighting crypto's growing role in the US, especially in the election. The industry hopes for a pro-crypto leader as momentum builds. There's a significant pent-up demand in the States. People want to be educated about which industry players can trust, so the regulator role is crucial. And number 3, the crypto industry is entering an exponential growth phase with regulations like MiCA showing its systemic importance, which, by the way, does go live at the end of this year, which is going to light the flame that's going to spread the fire to all other major areas in the world to finally get a hold of regulations. While crypto is mainly seen as an investment, the next step is integrating crypto into everyday payments, something that's yet to be realized. And yes, this is where we start to see the integration of crypto into everyday life. Everything. It's not just going to be payments. It's going to be everything. You're going to start to see crypto being utilized in gaming. You're going to see it utilized on social media. It's going to be utilized literally everywhere. Now, also, I put out a post, and this goes all the way back to 2023, August of 2023. And I said that the age of utility is nearly upon us. We have found that the G20 instructed the FSB with the help of the BIS and the IMF to create a global crypto regulatory framework. Back in July and June, I talked about this heavily. September is when the last and final framework is due. This will be a crucial document to read over and analyze. We also know that they confirmed that crypto will be fully regulated globally by the end of 2025, their timeline. And when we actually look at what's been happening around regulations, what we see being pushed, yeah, I do think that the end of 2025, is a very good outline to really kind of follow. Utility will take over from the time that we get regulations and onward. The days of a Bitcoin-driven market will soon be put behind us. It's impossible to think that some of the projects won't experience exponential growth over the next 5 to 10 years. We have game-changing technology in this space that is set to be utilized in scale. And I outlined XRP, XLM, XDC, HBAR, Casper, Algorand, QNT, Nexera, LCX, DAG. These are great projects. Although, yeah, price action isn't really kind of showing you that. These are great projects with a ton of utility behind them and a ton of developments as well. There is many great opportunities in this market. One thing is certain. The future is digital, and it's happening now. We are leading up to a big bang scenario where we can finally usher into the utility age of blockchain and DLT. Now, also building upon this, a great post by Smoke Dog came out, and this is going back to September 2nd. Major confirmation. The crypto market is finally shifting from hype-driven cycles to a utility-based cycle. The era of hype and meme coins is coming to an end with global crypto regulation on the horizon. The market is beginning to mature. Institutions are observing a significant trend. Projects fueled by hype are no longer receiving funding. Instead, those with a clear business case, utility, liquidity, and governance are becoming the new standard for evaluating blockchain-based products. Additionally, buzzwords like Web3 and blockchain will gradually fade as crypto projects become increasingly integrated with the traditional financial world. Much like how HTTP was adopted for internet security, this marks the beginning of cryptocurrency's practical application for widespread adoption and mainstream usage. And here you can actually see that, talked about within this article. And by the way, this is from the Singapore government talking about how we are starting to, move away from the hype cycle with crypto. But also, October 2024, World Economic Forum document on digital asset regulation highlights key contributors shaping the future of regulatory clarity across jurisdictions. Notable names from the crypto space featured as contributors include Ripple, Stellar, Hedera, Casper, Avalanche. I've said it before. Some of the worst performing altcoins in the space, everyone is shifting their focus away from. And these are projects that are actually chosen. I talk about the elite financial system quite a bit on this channel. I tell you guys to follow what the elites are doing, because guess what? Planting your seeds around what they're doing allows you to benefit greatly. It allows you to change certain aspects of your life. It allows you to be financially free. It allows you to wipe your debt. You need to plant seeds. You need to make sure that you are aware of where we are at right now, cyclical wise, but also technologically. We have here the winners of this crypto cycle will be those compliant with regulation, as they are poised to see the most value and growth. As shown here, the World Economic Forum is actively identifying the companies operating with regulation in mind. These players are not only compliant, but are also engaged in high-level discussions with the World Economic Forum on these critical topics. The winners are clear, and yes, they are being chosen. I keep telling you guys that the winners are being handpicked from this space. We see so much, noise around some of these projects with the SEC and this and that, but when you look at what's going on here, the winners are being handpicked. Don't lose track of what's going on. Don't lose focus on the target. It's still here. It's still ongoing. And when we look at what the institutions are planning, they're planning for tokenization of every single dollar out there. They're not going to do this with Bitcoin. They're not going to do this with Ethereum. And I also said over here that once regulations hit this space, utility projects get the green light in a massive way. The digital rails are already in place. The problem is that they are not being utilized the way most perceive. Everyone in this space is always asking the same question when it comes to projects like HBAR and even XRP, for an example. That question is, with all of these great announcements, why isn't the price moving? The simple answer, well, it's because a lot of these partnerships and a lot of these announcements require regulations before they really mean anything. You need to take a step back and analyze what this market is currently, which is a breeding ground of hype driven by speculation. What we really want this space to be is a breeding ground of value driven by utility, which will happen. I don't know who needs to tell you this, but XRP, HBAR, XLM, XDC, all of these utility projects are not even close to being utilized at scale. Regardless of what you hear, institutions are still trying to navigate the regulatory uncertainty of this market. Yes, we are seeing names like BlackRock dipping their toes in, but they are not tokenizing trillions yet. With proper regulatory clarity, the floodgates are officially open, the light turns green, and utility projects will race for the throne. Number one spot. A new king will be crowned, and it definitely won't be Bitcoin or Ethereum, and most fail to accept that. You are either sitting here and doing your homework on this space, or you will simply be left behind. And yes, overnight, this entire space will change. And no, that is not me, spewing a buzz statement out there. No. With regulations hitting the space, everything changes overnight. Everything changes overnight. It's no longer hype. There's no longer, the whole idea of, what meme coin's going to be the next big, mover. No, it's what altcoin is actually being utilized. What project is being implemented within the system. Utility starts to shine. And it's all through regulations. And all of the big institutions out there, guys, they're already preparing. Bank of America, BlackRock, BNY Mellon, CBOE, Charles Schwab, Citi, CME, Deutsche Bank. Guys, look at it. They already have crypto trading and custody tapped in. Some of them have private crypto funds, crypto ETPs, crypto-enabled payments, and even tokenization tapped in. Institutional adoption is heating up in such a large way right before we see regulations. This space is about to change. And it's going to change overnight once we see the announcement of regulatory clarity for this entire space. Things are starting to now become reality. And it's all centered around utility. So don't lose track of the target. With that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.